Elijah, a man of the earth, worked his farm with calloused hands and a weary heart. The land, once fertile and generous, was now parched and yielded little. Seasons of drought had taken their toll. The sun beat down mercilessly. It baked the earth, turning the soil to dust. Elijah's brow was creased with worry. Each day was a struggle for survival. Elijah's days were a symphony of hard work and quiet desperation. He toiled from dawn till dusk, his body a testament to the physical demands of farming. Every muscle ached, every bone weary, but he couldn't afford to rest. His family depended on him. He had to keep going, even when every fiber of his being screamed for respite. The sun, a relentless overseer, beat down upon him. It sapped his energy, leaving him drained and thirsty. He would stop to wipe the sweat from his brow, his calloused hand rough against his skin. He longed for a moment of shade, a cool breeze, a sign that nature understood his plight. But the earth remained unyielding, the sky a cruel, mocking blue. He tended to his meager crops with care, knowing that every stalk, every withered leaf represented a precious morsel of food. He coaxed life from the parched earth, urging the seeds to sprout, willing the roots to find moisture. But the drought had taken hold, its grip tightening with each passing day. The once fertile fields were now barren and cracked, a testament to nature's capricious power. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the land, Elijah would return home, his heart heavy with worry. The day's work yielded little reward, the future uncertain. He would eat his meager meal in silence, the weight of their situation pressing down on them. He looked at his children's faces, their eyes wide with innocent trust, and he knew he couldn't give up. He had to keep fighting for their future, for their hope. Despite his unwavering work ethic, a seed of doubt began to sprout in Elijah's heart. He had always believed in the power of hard work, in the fairness of nature's cycle. But the drought had shaken his faith. It whispered insidious doubts, questioning the very essence of his beliefs. The land, once a source of life and abundance, now felt like a cruel adversary. He found himself questioning his purpose, wondering if his efforts were futile. The relentless sun, the barren fields, the empty well all served as constant reminders of his struggle. He felt a growing sense of despair, a fear that he was fighting a losing battle. The whispers of doubt grew louder, threatening to consume him. He tried to silence them, to cling to the faith that had sustained him for so long, but the drought had taken its toll, chipping away at his resolve. He looked at his wife, Sarah, her face etched with worry, and he felt a surge of guilt. He was supposed to be the strong one, the provider, the one who shielded his family from hardship. But he felt like he was failing them, that his strength was ebbing away with each passing day. He longed to reassure her, to offer words of comfort, but his own doubts choked his voice. He would stare out at the parched fields, his heart heavy with the weight of his responsibilities. The wind, dry and hot, carried the whispers of doubt, taunting him with his powerlessness. He felt lost, adrift in a sea of uncertainty. He yearned for a sign, a glimmer of hope, something to rekindle the faith that was flickering within him. One day, a stranger arrived at their doorstep, a traveling preacher, his eyes filled with kindness and his voice resonating with a quiet strength. He had heard of Elijah's plight, of the drought that had ravaged the land. He had come to offer words of comfort, to share a message of hope and believe in Jesus Christ. Elijah, weary and disillusioned, listened with a mixture of skepticism and longing. The preacher spoke of faith, of the unwavering belief in a power greater than themselves. He spoke of the resilience of the human spirit, of the ability to find strength in adversity. He spoke of the unseen forces that shape our lives, of the miracles that bloom in the face of despair. His words, like a gentle rain on parched earth, began to soften Elijah's hardened heart. He reminded Elijah of the story of Elijah, the prophet who had faced a drought of his own. He spoke of how Elijah had prayed for rain, how his faith had moved mountains. He urged Elijah to look beyond the physical world, to tap into the wellspring of faith that resided within him. He spoke of the power of prayer, of the ability to connect with God through Jesus Christ to bring healing to his land. The preacher's visit was a turning point for Elijah. It was as if a spark had ignited within him, rekindling the embers of hope that had dwindled to ash. He began to see his situation in a new light, to recognize the power of God to change his situation through faith. He realized that the drought, as devastating as it was, was not a punishment, but a test, a challenge to his faith and his resilience. He felt a renewed sense of purpose, a determination to face his adversity with unwavering belief. Inspired by the preacher's words, Elijah felt a shift within him. The whispers of doubt, though still present, were fainter now, overshadowed by a burgeoning hope. He began to see his struggles not as a curse, but as an opportunity for growth, a crucible in which his faith could be tempered and strengthened. He realized that true strength lay not in the absence of adversity, but in the ability to rise above it. He shared the preacher's message with Sarah, his voice filled with a newfound conviction. Her eyes, which had grown dim with worry, now flickered with a glimmer of optimism. They knelt together, their hands clasped, and prayed for rain. Their prayer was not a plea born of desperation, but a declaration of faith, a belief in the transforming power of God to change their situation. Elijah began to approach his work with a renewed sense of purpose. He tended to his meager crops with care, seeing in each withered stalk a symbol of resilience. He worked tirelessly, his faith fueling his every action. He knew that the rain might not come immediately, but he also knew that his efforts were not in vain. He was planting seeds of hope, not just in the ground, but also in his heart by meditating on the Word of God. He began to notice small changes in the world around him. The wind, though still dry, seemed to carry a faint scent of moisture. The sun, though scorching, seemed to shine with a less harsh light. The earth, though parched, seemed to hold a promise of renewal. These subtle shifts fueled his belief, reinforcing the idea that change was possible, that miracles could bloom even in the most barren of landscapes. Days turned into weeks, and still the rain held back. The drought intensified, pushing Elijah's faith to its limits. The whispers of doubt resurfaced, louder now, taunting him with his unwavering belief. Neighbors, their own crops failing, began to question his sanity. They scoffed at his prayers, his faith in a miracle. They urged him to abandon his futile efforts, to accept the reality of their situation. But Elijah refused to yield. He clung to the hope that had taken root within him, the belief that the preacher's words had awakened. He knew that faith was not a passive act, but an active force that required unwavering commitment. He redoubled his efforts, tending to his fields with even greater care, his every action a testament to his belief. He refused to let the doubts of others contaminate his own spirit. He would stand in his fields, his face turned towards the sky, his eyes searching for any sign of change. The sun beat down upon him, the wind whipped at his clothes, but he stood firm, his resolve unwavering. He knew that he was being tested, that his faith was being refined in the crucible of adversity. He refused to break, knowing that true strength lay in the ability to endure, to persevere, even in the face of doubt and despair. He drew strength from Sarah's unwavering support. She never wavered in her belief, her quiet faith a constant source of encouragement. They would sit together in the evenings, their hands clasped, their voices joined in prayer. Their faith was a shared sanctuary, a beacon of hope in the midst of their struggles. They knew that they were not alone, that their faith connected them to a power greater than themselves. Then one day, as if in answer to their unwavering prayers, the sky began to shift. Dark clouds gathered on the horizon, their shadows creeping across the parched land. The wind, which had been dry and hot, now carried the scent of moisture. A low rumble echoed in the distance, a sound that sent shivers of anticipation down Elijah's spine. The rain was coming. At first, it was just a sprinkle, a few hesitant drops that kissed the dusty ground. But then, as if the heavens had opened, the rain came pouring down. It fell in sheets, drenching the parched earth, washing away the dust and despair. Elijah stood in the downpour, his face turned towards the sky, his heart overflowing with gratitude. Tears streamed down his face, mingling with the raindrops. He felt as if he were being washed clean, his spirit renewed, his faith affirmed. The rain continued for days, transforming the barren landscape. The dry, cracked earth softened and drank deeply of the life-giving water. Seeds that had lain dormant in the dust sprang to life, pushing their way towards the sun. The withered stalks of corn straightened, their leaves unfurling with renewed vigor. The land, which had been so desolate, was now teeming with new life, a testament to the transformative power of the rain. Elijah worked tirelessly, his heart filled with a joy he had not felt in years. He tended to his revitalized crops, his every action infused with gratitude. He saw in the burgeoning fields a reflection of his own spirit, renewed and revitalized by the power of faith. He knew that the rain was not just a physical phenomenon, but a symbol of the unseen forces that had answered his prayers. He had been tested, and his faith had proven strong. Weeks passed, and the fields flourished under Elijah's care. The once barren land was now a sea of green, the stalks of corn standing tall and proud. The air was filled with the sweet scent of ripening grain, a symphony of life that resonated deep within Elijah's soul. He worked tirelessly, his heart filled with a sense of accomplishment and gratitude. The harvest promised to be bountiful, a testament to his unwavering faith and perseverance. As the days grew shorter and the first hint of autumn touched the air, Elijah prepared for the harvest. He sharpened his tools, his hands calloused but steady. He looked out over the fields, his heart swelling with pride. The golden ears of corn, heavy with grain, swayed gently in the breeze, a testament to the transformative power of nature's cycle. The drought was a distant memory, replaced by the abundance that now surrounded him. He gathered his family, their faces beaming with joy. They worked together, their laughter echoing across the fields. The children, who had once played amongst withered stalks, now ran through the tall corn, their voices filled with delight. The harvest was a celebration, a time of thanksgiving for the blessings that had been bestowed upon them. Elijah watched his family, his heart overflowing with love, knowing that their future was secure. The wagons overflowed with the fruits of their labor, the golden grain piled high. Elijah looked at the abundance that surrounded him, his heart filled with a sense of awe. It was a miracle, a testament to the power of faith. He knew that he had been given a second chance, a chance to rebuild his life and provide for his family. He vowed to never forget the lessons he had learned, to always hold on to the faith that had sustained him through the darkest of times. Elijah, his heart brimming with gratitude, knew he couldn't keep this blessing to himself. The abundance he had been given was meant to be shared, a testament to the generosity of God's provision that had guided him through his trials. He remembered the neighbors who had doubted him, who had scoffed at his faith. He knew they were struggling, their own crops failing in the wake of the drought. He decided to extend a hand of friendship, to share the bounty that had been bestowed upon him. He loaded his wagons with grain, the golden kernels spilling over the sides. He drove his oxen through the village, his heart filled with a sense of purpose. He stopped at each house, his calloused hands offering sacks of grain to his neighbors, their faces, etched with worry and hardship, softened with surprise and gratitude. They accepted his gifts with humility, their eyes reflecting the understanding that they were witnessing something extraordinary. Word of Elijah's generosity spread throughout the village, a ripple effect of kindness that touched every heart. Those who had doubted him now looked upon him with admiration and respect. They saw in his actions a reflection of true faith, a belief that extended beyond personal gain to encompass the well-being of the entire community. Elijah's harvest had become a symbol of hope, a reminder that even in the face of adversity, compassion and generosity could prevail. As he returned home, his wagons empty but his heart full, Elijah felt a profound sense of peace. He had not only reaped a bountiful harvest, but he had also sown seeds of kindness and compassion. He knew that his actions had touched the lives of others, spreading the message of hope and faith that had sustained him through his own struggles. The villagers who had once questioned Elijah's unwavering faith now looked upon him with awe and respect. They had witnessed the transformation of his land, the bountiful harvest that had sprung from the barren earth. They had tasted the sweetness of his grain, the generosity that flowed from his heart. They realized that Elijah's faith was not a blind hope, but a powerful force that had shaped his reality, bringing forth abundance from the jaws of scarcity. They gathered in his fields, their eyes wide with wonder as he recounted the story of his journey. He spoke of the preacher's visit, the rekindling of his faith, the unwavering belief that had sustained him through the drought. He spoke of the transformative power of prayer, the connection to a force greater than themselves that had answered his prayers. His words resonated with the villagers, awakening a sense of hope and possibility within their own hearts. They saw in Elijah's story a reflection of their own struggles, their own doubts and fears. They realized that they too had the power to tap into the wellspring of faith, to believe in the possibility of miracles, to transform their own lives through unwavering belief. Elijah's story had planted a seed of hope within their hearts, a seed that, nurtured by their own belief, could blossom into a harvest of blessings. Elijah's story spread beyond the confines of their village, carried by the wind, whispered from heart to heart. It became a tale whispered in hushed tones, a legend that sparked hope in the hearts of those who had lost their way. People from neighboring villages, their own lives touched by hardship, flocked to Elijah's fields, seeking guidance and inspiration. They saw in his humble demeanor a beacon of wisdom, a testament to the power of unwavering belief. Elijah welcomed them with open arms, sharing his story, his insights, the lessons he had learned through his trials. He spoke of the importance of perseverance, of the resilience of the human spirit, of the ability to find strength in adversity. He emphasized the transformative power of faith, the connection to a force greater than themselves that could heal their wounds and guide them towards a brighter future. His words, like seeds scattered on fertile ground, took root in the hearts of those who listened. They returned to their own communities, their hearts ignited with newfound purpose. They shared Elijah's story, spreading the message of hope and faith like wildfire. They began to see their own struggles in a new light, recognizing the opportunity for growth, the chance to tap into the wellspring of belief that resided within them. Elijah's story had become a catalyst for change, a ripple effect that touched countless lives, inspiring a generation to embrace faith as a guiding force in their own journeys. As Elijah witnessed the impact of his story, he felt a profound sense of humility and gratitude. He realized that his personal journey had become a beacon of hope for others, a testament to the interconnectedness of all beings and the transformative power of shared belief. He knew that his life had been touched by grace, and he was determined to use his experience to inspire others, to illuminate the path towards a brighter future, where faith, resilience, and compassion would prevail. Elijah's story serves as a powerful reminder of the transformative power of belief. It highlights the resilience of the human spirit, the ability to overcome adversity through unwavering faith and perseverance. It underscores the importance of trusting in the unseen forces that shape our lives, the power of prayer to connect us to a source of strength and guidance beyond our comprehension. Elijah's journey is a testament to the idea that miracles are possible, not as supernatural events, but as the natural unfolding of a life lived in alignment with faith and purpose. His story transcends the boundaries of religion, speaking to a universal truth that resonates within every human heart. It reminds us that we all possess the capacity for faith, the ability to believe in something greater than ourselves, to tap into a wellspring of hope and resilience that can sustain us through life's inevitable challenges. It encourages us to look beyond the limitations of our physical world, to embrace the power of belief as a guiding force in our own lives, to trust in the unseen forces that orchestrate the symphony of our existence. Elijah's example invites us to examine our own beliefs, to assess the foundation upon which we build our lives. It challenges us to question our doubts, to confront our fears, to cultivate a faith that can weather the storms of adversity. It reminds us that true strength lies not in the absence of struggle, but in the ability to rise above it, to find meaning and purpose in the midst of life's inevitable challenges. Elijah's story is a call to action, an invitation to embrace faith as a catalyst for personal transformation and a force for good in the world. His journey reminds us that we are not alone in our struggles, that we are all connected by an invisible thread of shared humanity. It inspires us to extend a hand of compassion to those in need, to share our blessings, to be a source of hope and encouragement for others. Elijah's story is a testament to the transformative power of love, kindness, and generosity, qualities that can heal wounds, bridge divides, and illuminate the path towards a brighter future for all. Elijah's story, Faith's Harvest, the miracle of Elijah's fields, is a timeless parable that speaks to the very essence of the human spirit. It reminds us that we reap what we sow, not just in our fields, but also in our hearts and minds. When we cultivate faith, resilience, and compassion, we create a fertile ground for miracles to bloom in our lives. When we face adversity with unwavering belief, we tap into a source of strength that can transform our reality, bringing forth abundance from the jaws of scarcity. Elijah's journey is an inspiration to us all, reminding us that we have the power to shape our own destiny through the choices we make, the beliefs we embrace, and the actions we take. It encourages us to cultivate a faith that can move mountains, to nurture a resilience that can withstand life's storms, and to extend a hand of compassion to those in need. Elijah's story is a testament to the transformative power of belief, a shining example of the miracles that can unfold when we align our lives with a higher purpose. As we reflect upon Elijah's journey, let us remember that we are all capable of experiencing our own faith's harvest. When we embrace faith, nurture resilience, and act with compassion, we create the conditions for miracles to blossom in our own lives and in the world around us. Let us sow seeds of hope, kindness, and love, knowing that the harvest we reap will be a reflection of the intentions we plant and the beliefs we nurture. Elijah's story is a timeless reminder that faith is not a passive hope, but an active force that can shape our reality, transform our circumstances, and illuminate the path towards a brighter future. Let us embrace the power of belief, knowing that within each of us lies the potential to create our own miracles, to harvest the abundance that awaits those who dare to believe.